Hi, hello, it's Pip here from queenpipcards.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to my YouTube channel today. Today I am sharing with you the Cling stamp set from Sale-a-bration 2020 called Happy Birthday to You. It is a Cling stamp set and it comes in red rubber with this gorgeous, totally gorgeous major cake image. And then happy birthday to you and celebrate, and some little sprinkly bits which I quite like. So that's the stamp set, and you earn this stamp set for free when you spend £45 in my store. So that's quite easy to do really, with all the lovely things that you like. So spend £45, you get to choose this one for free. But this month they have brought out, good old Stampin Up have brought out some dies that match. This is part of our coordination product release, and these are called the birthday dies, and funnily enough they coordinate with Happy Birthday to You. And in here you get the matching die to cut the cake out with stand, so it cuts the whole thing out. You also get some florally bits and some leaves. This piece here, this cuts just the flowers out. So if you wanted to, you can decoupage those, raise those up on top of the cake image, or just use them on their own. And then there's a cake stand, which you just chop off the bottom piece of this when you've stamped it out, and then cut that using gold foil or silver foil or copper or champagne or peacock or any of the ones that we've got on offer. And then you can have a nice shiny cake stand as well with a little frilly, this is a little frilly edge to it. So that's cute, isn't it? That's a great set. So if you bought this and some inks, or this and some cardstock, or this and some blends, which is what we're going to play with today, then you could get the stamp set that matched for free. So it's like a double whammy on a bundle, because this part of the bundle's free. So you buy this, and then you have to buy some more stuff to get up to a £45 sort of bundle price, and then they throw in the stamp set for free. So it's like a whammy, a double whammy bundle. So this is the stamp we're going to be using today, along with some words. So I'm going to get this out. I've attached my stickers, and then we will use the big E-block for this. You can put it on your Stamparatus as well. I do generally recommend using Stamparatus for the big ones, just because they you know, if you miss a bit, you know you can go back and there's no panic. There'll be no panic with this anyway, but you know, just sometimes you do sometimes miss a little bit and you want to be able to go back, so the Stamparatus is the best tool for that. So I'm using Memento ink here, just inking this up, and if it's a large stamp like this, I never try and take the stamp to the ink. I always take the ink to the stamp. So much easier. And then we're going to pop that down just on there. Give it some welly. Oops, sorry, I'm shaking. I'm shaking you. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Make sure it's nicely inked up. There we go. I'm just gonna. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. A bit more light on the subject. There we go. So make sure it's nicely inked up. There we go. And then that's your large stamp done. Now then what you do is you take the die. Okay, so we're going to take the die. I would use a little bit of washi tape just to hold it in place, because it is a large die and you don't want it to move as you're cutting. Make sure you've got all your bits in. Yep, lovely. Just attach a small amount of washi tape there and a small amount of washi tape there. Run that through your Big Shot machine and it comes out looking like this. It's nice, isn't it? Isn't that beautifully cut, perfectly cut round? So that's using those dies, and now you can get on with the fun part, which is colouring it. Now I'm using papers here from Best Dressed. This is from the Best Dressed suite, and I'm using it with Old Olive and Petal Pink for the card base. So those are my colours, and the mats and layers are my standard mats and layers, which is 14.4 by 10 for the larger one and 13.9 by 9.5 for the smaller one. And then I'm matching the colours in the roses. So I have my purple Posy. Even though we can't get the purple Posy ink pad, we still have the purple Posy blends. So I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go purple Posy on all of these actually. Not all of them, just the outside ones I think. And I'm just using my, oh, I know what I've forgotten. I've forgotten my, already I've realised I've forgotten my leaf colour for my blends. I need to go and get an old olive really. There we go. I'll do that in a minute. So I'm using my light coloured one first, and then I'm going to go back in with my dark. And you can see I'm being quite rough with it because I don't really need to have it very dark and detailed, that, because I'm going to go back in with my dark one for my centerpieces and my flicky bits where it shows up to be dark, and inside these bits here just on your edges. And then I'm going to go back in and just do all that again with the light one, so then I'll be more precise the second time round I go. Yeah, that's about right. So then the second time in I go, then I'll be more precise where I'm going. But again, I'll probably leave a little bit of the edges white because it sort of adds a bit of an accent, or at least just a lighter version of purple Posy. There we go. It's a beautiful colour, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. So you can see how quickly you can lay down those blended colours, like so. And if you wanted to, you could spend hours, not hours, you could spend some minutes and get each one with some highlights and some lowlights. But since the papers are sort of watercoloured, I'm not actually going to do that because they look sort of wishy-washy. So, well, not wishy-washy, you know what I mean, they look watercoloured, so I'm just going to go with that. Oh dear. Right, now this is the dark petal pink, and this time I'm doing it the other way round because I'm going to lay down quite a lot of dark. So this one I'm going to make less of a highlight and more of a darker colour. So I'm going to go straight in with that and then just go over lightly all over with the other one, like so. And see here, I did a little bit too dark on that one, so I'm just going to lighten that up by over inking with the light one, and that will lighten that up a smidge. And if you want to bring it a little bit lighter, you can always use the colour lifter if it's not lightened up enough for you. There we go. So there are our flowers. Now we've actually got mint macaron in here, so I'm actually going to use a bit of mint macaron for my greenery, just to bring a different colour in. This is mint macaron dark. And again, I've really been very rough. You're probably thinking, what on earth is she doing? But it's just to get some basic colour laid down, and then we'll go back in. And as long as you work quickly enough, you can do this. Obviously, if you're going to be spending time doing some real shading and making it into a work of art, then no, you need to do one leaf at a time, one flower at a time. But if you're just doing this roughly like I am, then you can get away with doing it like this. So yeah, it just depends on how quickly you can get back to the leaf and the flowers to make sure that you're blending, not just colouring over the top. All right, so that's those, and then these little bits here, I call these my blobby bits. These are going to be in light purple Posy, and these ones will be in light Petal Pink. There we go. And then that all coordinates in. Now I'm not actually going to colour in my cake. I'm leaving that as a white white cake, but I do want to colour in my stand, and I think I'm going to go with just a light purple Posy. I think just to have a spot of colour, but nothing massive. Bring that down here like so, and pop a little bit of shade in. It's always good to have one side in shade. You do want to have a little bit of 3D colouring, otherwise it does look a bit flat. So just follow the lines and always go dark underneath the shadow, like so. Okay, so that's it for the colouring. How quickly did we do that? I mean, that was fairly rapid, I have to say. So now we're just going to do some assembly. Not school assembly or church assembly, just card assembly. There we go. Whack a bit of glue on, technical term. So as I say, this is Old Olive, this base, but as you can tell it matches, you know, there's two greens in here, so the light will match with that too. Then we're going to turn it over and we're going to put a bit of ribbon behind the scenes, I think. Oh no, maybe we'll do this bit first. So I've cut a piece of what's this, Petal Pink, and I just want it to look like almost like a frame. So actually, yes, I will do my ribbon behind. So this is the, I thought I was going to do it behind, and then I had a bit of a moment. This is the Petal Pink champagne or metallic edged ribbon, which is in the new spring catalogue, and it's, or mini catalogue should I say, and it's lovely. I've used it a lot. You've probably seen it loads of times that I've used it a lot, but yes, I do like it because it's pretty and it's shiny, so you get that bling with it. It's like a double whammy really. So pop that on there, bring that across like so. Whoops, stick it down, Pip. Don't just place it, stick it. There we go. Now if you're coming to the Create It show at Farnborough this year, then I have a stand, so you'll be able to find us in J3. So that will be me, and it'll be the Stampin' Up. It'll say Stampin' Up because I thought people would find Stampin' Up easier than Queen Pip cards. And you can also come and join me for workshops. I've got classes running, my teamies will be running them. I'm designing them all. I'll come and say hi, but I will be on the stand as well, so I thought it best to have some help. So my lovely teamies, Debs and Alison, are going to help me do that, and maybe Diane, who knows. So that'll be great. And then on the stand there'll be myself, there'll be Sarah and Fiona, who you've probably met last year because we were at the old Make It last year, the three of us. So you may well have seen us there last year. We work well together, so it was a done deal really to have them back on the stand. Right, there we go, that's that. And then I'm going to raise that up, and I'm going to raise that up. I know, extortionate height, but I feel like it needs to be done. And then we'll work out wording. I've got a nice new sheet of dimensionals, here we go. And this is a large stamp, so you need to have enough dimensionals so it's not going to sag. Remember, no saggy middles. And then we should be able to just fit one just on the base there, like so. We're going to attach that once we've attached this. So here we go. I know you're thinking, wow, she's using such a lot of dimensionals, but I hate it, hate it when it goes through the machines in the post office and they just squish them flat. This one I might have to give by hand because it's got double layers on it, and I couldn't bear it if it got completely squished. So this we're just going to pop sort of equidistant away, maybe a little bit more of an edge on this side, nice and straight. And then this fits almost perfectly on top, so you do need to have dimensionals all the way around. You know, there's not any part of it that's hanging off. Although it would look nice if it did. I can't remember what size piece of cardstock this is, so I will put the measurements on the screen and you will see those, and you will see that I am losing an inordinate amount of glue down here. How did that happen? There we go. Take that off. Be careful, Pip, don't go and put your card down on that. Have I got them all off? Yes, good. Okay, so just about there. There, that looks good, doesn't it? So that's that. Then I thought we'd do a little bit of stamping on the inside as well. I'm just conscious of that. Although I could use it to stick down my thingy, but you know, I'm just more worried about getting it stuck everywhere, so I'm going to just take that off. There we go. Right, of course, if you weren't watching, you know that I would actually use that. Now then, we're going to just stamp another rose. So we just want to ink up this top part here. You will get some, if you don't want some of the cake, you can rub it off again, but I don't mind having a little bit of the lines showing from the cake. I'm going to go just about here, stamp firmly, lift. See, you've got the lines from the cake, but I think that's fine. That doesn't bother me at all. Wipe off your surface if you're not using grid paper. Normally I have my grid paper down, but there we go. Then back in, and I think on the inside I'm going to put more Petal pink, I think. Yeah, I think so. So again, dark, centre, and you just colour this exactly the same as you did the other one. Oh, except that's a leaf, Pip. Don't colour the leaf, honestly. Made her up. Silly. Silly, silly, silly. Never mind. It can be saved. Don't panic. That's the great thing about blends. It can all be saved. That's not a leaf, is it? No, that is a petal. Always make a mistake. You know, mistakes happen, but they can be fixed. So the first thing I would do to fix this is I would just run a little bit of colour lifter over it to lighten it, and then leave that to dry for a moment whilst I do the rest of my colouring. So I'll do this, 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 and then I'll come to that in a minute. It's just good to let the alcohol dry in that once you've done the colour lifter. Because we're going to go over the top with this mint macaron, it will just go straight over, so that's fine. There should be enough time by now. A bit of dark, a bit of light. See? Hardly tell the difference. It's got a little bit of a... there. Yeah, no, that's fine. Then a few little, we're doing it the other way around now, aren't we? So a few little purpley dots, like so, and just do something like that. There we go. So that's your insert now. And then I thought we would do the words celebrate on this card, because then it doesn't have to be for a birthday, then it could be for a wedding. Could be for engagement, could be for a anniversary card or anything. So celebrate's a nice sort of all-round stamp, don't you think, for a sentiment? I think so. Love a sentiment you can use for multiple get one of my trusty cut off edges. There we go. And where's my stamp set gone? Here it is. So we're just going to use, because the happy birthday is beautiful, but it's big, so we could stamp that and cut that. Actually, we could stamp that and cut that out. That would look quite nice there, don't you think? Decision. No, we'll do celebrate. Otherwise, I'll go off piste again. But I'm going to stamp this in. I was going to stamp it in Old Olive, but I think it would look better in Memento, so we'll pop that on a block. We'll stamp it in Memento, and I might just put some underlining with some of the blends, because you can do that because you were stamping it in Memento. So just ink that up, place that on your card like so, and then waft it. I think we'll just, is that straight? Yeah, I think so. Not bad actually, Pip, you did pretty good there. Pretty good. There we go. I'm tempted to go round it though. Yeah, I'm tempted to do this. So I'm doing this quite a lot lately. Just putting my own borders on sentiments where I don't necessarily have a punch that either I want to use or that fits. So you can do this and then you just wiggle along the bottom. It doesn't have to be straight then, you see. It's also very handy if you're not good at cutting straight lines. And then you can either come up here or you can just sort of curve off. So I'm going to come about here and just sort of curve off and come in like that. See how that goes? And then here I'll just curve off. There we go. See how I'm moving the cardstock, not the scissors, not the snips at that point. Okay. And then to make that stand out just a smidge more, we're going to take the wide end, the brush tip of our blend, and just run it over. And you can come up so it just has a colour to it, but a white edge, and then that stands out quite nicely when you pop that up there. A little bit of dimensional work at the back, and if it doesn't take the large ones, this one should actually, it should be fine. 2 large ones and then a spot of glue on this end, because that's going to attach to the card. So we'll do that. And then whip these off. Yeah. And then you can line it up pretty much wherever you want it to be, really. I like the ribbon, so I'm going to pop it a little bit lower down so you still have that ribbon showing through. And then to finish, some lovely, they're called champagne, but to be honest I think they're petal pink in my book. They go with everything really. And we'll just pop a few of these. What have we got? Some this size, I think, sort of scattered. It's always nice to scatter some of these behind the scenes, really, of the roses, like so. There we go. How quick, but how pretty is that card? I think somebody would love to get that card, and then when they open it up there's a beautiful rose on the inside ready for your message. But that is just, it's so, just such a lovely, I don't know, feminine, very feminine, that's the word I'm looking for. It's a beautiful feminine card, and sometimes that's just what we need. So I hope you've enjoyed that bit of blends tutorial today, and basically just showing you these fabulous dies. So as I say, you get this stamp set for free when you spend £45, and I think that there are probably enough things on this video alone for you to get to the £45. So All the details are below in the description, along with links, and I've put all the item numbers up on the screen. Hopefully you've spotted those as we've gone past. So enjoy that, and I look forward to seeing your creations with happy birthday to you. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Come back soon. Cheers, bye.